Welcome to this explainer. Okay, so when we think about infrastructure, we usually picture static concrete and steel, right? Stuff that just serves a basic practical function. Well, today we're diving into a piece of architecture that literally changes its entire identity after dark. Let's dive right into this because, at first glance, if you were just rushing by on your morning commute, you'd probably think it's just a bridge. It's a crossing over the River Tees in Stockton-on-Tees, England. It serves that very basic human need, getting us from one side of a river to the other. But as you'll see, that surface-level assumption is a brilliant piece of misdirection. This seemingly simple crossing holds a really clever design secret, hiding right in plain sight.
Moving into Section 1, the infinity illusion, a striking reflection.
Now, before we even talk about what happens when the sun goes down, we have to appreciate how the physical design of this bridge plays with its environment during the day. It features these two absolutely striking steel arches. But the real magic happens when the water is calm. Those steel arches combine perfectly with their reflections on the surface of the River Tees, and together, the physical steel and that mirrored reflection create the unmistakable, flawless shape of an infinity symbol. So as you can probably guess, this breathtaking visual illusion is exactly what inspired the bridge's name. It's just a beautiful intersection of natural elements and human design.
Section 2, Engineering Riverside Regeneration, Building the Vision.
Now, what's really interesting here is that a structure this iconic doesn't just pop up by accident. It requires a very specific vision and an incredibly talented team. First off, this is specifically a pedestrian and cycle bridge, meaning it's scaled for people, not cars. It was designed by the minds at Expedition Engineering, working hand in hand with the architect, Spence Associates. But the ultimate goal wasn't just to build a path over the water. The real mission was to revitalize Stockton-on-Tees, breathing entirely new life and energy into the town's riverside area through monumental design. 2009, that is the pivotal year this vision actually became a reality. Opening to the public back then, the Infinity Bridge marked a massive turning point. It ushered in a brand new era for the riverside area, becoming the absolute crown jewel of the town's regeneration efforts. And we honestly can't talk about this bridge without mentioning the sheer scale of the project. 240, that's the number of meters this bridge stretches across the River Tees. To put that into perspective, that is roughly 2.5 football pitches long. It's a huge footprint. It gives the structure this truly commanding presence over the landscape and provides a really long, sweeping journey for the cyclists and pedestrians using it. And all of this brilliantly illustrates how form and function can operate in total harmony. The engineers used something called a tied arch structure. In simple terms, the deck of the bridge actually ties the ends of the arches together to handle the outward tension. This specific structural choice is absolutely crucial. It provides the practical stability needed to span that massive 240-meter gap, but it does so while completely preserving the stunning shape of those steel arches. So they didn't have to sacrifice the bridge's visual identity just to, make it stand up. Okay, let's see how this builds, because everything we've talked about so far, the scale, the steel, the daytime reflection, is really only half the story. By day, we have these striking steel arches and incredible structural engineering, but by night, the bridge totally abandons its static physical form and transforms into an interactive LED display. It shifts from a feat of traditional engineering into a fully immersive sensory experience. Which brings us to Section 3, the nighttime transformation, a futuristic experience. So, as the sun sets over Stockton-on-Tees, the bridge practically wakes up. The energy of the structure completely changes. Picture yourself walking up to it on a dark evening. Let's walk through this kinetic sequence. Step 1, you, or maybe a cyclist, start to cross the walkway. Step 2, your physical movement instantly triggers these hidden sensors embedded right into the structure. And Step 3, in real time, LED lights start to ripple and change color right alongside you. The bridge is physically responding to your movement. It literally turns your everyday walk into an interactive light show, trailing your footsteps across the water. As noted in our source material, this lighting response creates a, quote, dynamic, almost futuristic feel. And honestly, it sounds like something straight out of a science fiction movie. But the absolutely vital thing to remember here is that despite this high-tech, rippling light show, the crossing never loses its primary function. It remains highly practical, exceptionally safe, and super welcoming for everyday users. The technology enhances the journey without ever getting in the way of it. Let's wrap things up with Section 4. A lasting modern symbol, more than a river crossing. Let's zoom out for a second from the mechanics of tied arches and LED sensors. So the crucial point is, when you combine that infinity illusion during the day with the interactive lighting at night, you get something that totally transcends mere infrastructure. It didn't just check the boxes for its engineering requirements, it became one of Stockton-on-Tees' absolute best-known landmarks. It stands today as a lasting, permanent symbol of the entire area's modern transformation. But perhaps most importantly, it takes something completely mundane, an everyday journey, a commute, a quick bike ride, and makes it memorable. It is proof that utility absolutely doesn't have to be boring. Which leaves us with this final thought. Think about the spaces you pass through every single day. The sidewalks, the stairwells, the transit stations. How could thoughtful design transform your everyday commute? The Infinity Bridge proves that with just a little bit of vision, the ordinary environments we completely take for granted can hold some serious hidden magic. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Keep looking for the spectacular in the everyday, and I'll catch you next time.